Welcome back, everybody, to the Talkz Cheap Podcast. It's your host, DEA 40831 and Stevie Ray, and we're here today with Superior One, the 831's most prolific rapper, the man that's synonymous with 831 Salinas rap. How you doing today, Soup?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. We're really excited to have you on here today. Thank you for stopping by.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Brody.
Yep. Hell yeah.
All right, cool. So we like to start off every episode with a bit of an icebreaker just to get ourselves in the, get ourselves talking, get ourselves comfortable here. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's do a fun one. So if you had a time machine, would you go back in time or would you go into the future?
It's a good question. I'd probably go into the future. I'd go to the future.
Why would you go to the future?
See what it is. See what it's gonna be. Because I already made my past, and I know, and it led me where I'm at. But I want to see what there is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, but if you went to the future, would you spy on your future self?
Yeah. See what I'm up to, see what I'm doing. Yeah, probably see what I'm up to, see what I'm doing.
Hey, even if it could alter the time-space continuum?
I don't know.
Hey,
I don't want to fuck shit up. Don't blame me. Don't blame me.
I might destroy the whole universe, huh? What about you, Stevie Ray?
Yeah. Then probably not.
Shit, I don't know, man. I don't know. I might go with the past, I think. Maybe check shit out. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
All right, well,
just
what
be
part of
devil's
the
advocate,
past?
I'll say the past.
What?
Huh?
Where to in the past? Or when, I should say.
I don't know. Kind of seemed like shit was kind of dope in like the 70s.
All right, so you go back to the 70s?
Hella good music and shit. Hell yeah.
And then would you, I guess,
go see fucking George Clinton and shit? That'd be sick, bro.
Well, since you weren't alive back then, would you then spy on your family? Like check in on your family, see how they're doing?
I don't know, man. My dad was wild. I don't even know if I want to know all that, you know what I mean? But yeah, probably. Hell yeah.
Hey, that'd be trippy,
curious,
though, huh?
You know what I mean? Curious.
Yeah, it'd be a trip though, huh? To go back and
it would be a trip, bro.
Kick it with your parents, like.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, hey, this one's easy for me because if you've ever watched Back to the Future, all you got to do is go in the future, get that little sports almanac book, and then go back in time, go back to the present. Hey, put all those sport bets and become a rich man like Biff.
It's true though.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, big brains got that all figured out right there.
Yep. Bet everything on every Super Bowl every year.
Every fucking year, yeah.
Hey, max out your credit cards to go all in on there.
Yep. The exact points.
Heck
just
yeah.
fucking cash out.
Hey, you'd be a scumbag, huh, for that one, huh? All right, cool. All right. So how was it like growing up in the 831?
Yeah, man. It was wild, you know what I'm saying? Everyone was out there doing their own thing. You were living in between everything. You had the street politics, and you had, people, homies wanted to be athletes, homies wanted to be dope dealers and gangsters. And then we ended up trying to find out who we were, through the music, started rapping and freestyling and hanging out. And it just was a wild time back in the, late 80s, early 90s. It was a different city, it was a different city for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And so back then, what were some of your influences back then as far as wanting to get into music at that time?
Just everything I saw, everything I was exposed to. Back then you had videos, MTV, you had Yo MTV Raps, you had The Basement, BET, you had Friday night and Saturday night videos. I remember back in the early 90s, we'd stay up till 11:30, 12 o'clock, just watching all the videos and seeing what was out there, hearing all the music that was out there, and then trying to create our own lane, get inspired. All the early groups in the early 90s, it just, pushed to a next level. And back then everybody sounded different. everybody was from a different place, so it all sounded different, and that's what's kind of hard with the new music, is that everything sounds the same. You can be from Florida and sound like a dude from Vegas. You could be from Vegas, sound like a dude from Chicago. Like the music, everyone trying to make the music sound the same. And back then it was about the music sounding different.
Yeah.
Telling your story from where you were from,
Yeah. Definitely
unique.
about being more original.
Yeah, original and unique. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't say what the other dude was saying. I couldn't say how it was growing up in Philly or growing up in Florida or growing up in North Carolina. I could only talk about what I knew from where I was growing up in Salinas, and we're between the Bay and LA. We're between, San Diego. So a lot of our stuff, Sacramento, a lot of our stuff is West Coast. But, when I got into the hip hop, I also respected the East, like all the Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, like, Mobb Deep. So I always had a love for the East and the West. And back then you can pick what you wanted to listen to. And now that everything sounds the same, you really can't pick what you want to listen to. Everything sounds the same,
Yeah, it's not regional anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not regional. And I get it. I mean, it could be a bad thing and a good thing. At least the music's universal now. However, it was about distinctiveness. You knew where a dude was from Oakland. You knew a dude was from LA. You knew a dude was from New York. You knew a dude was from Atlanta. So I mean, it's just really has changed in the last 25, 30 years.
Yeah. And another thing with that is like, nowadays you could get away with that because of the internet. You could just, get a beat from BeatStars, put in whatever genre you want, copy and paste someone else's lyrics, just fill in the blanks. But back then, when you were freestyling with the homies, you couldn't come with that whack shit. You know what I mean? People would just be confused, or they'll just tell you straight up.
You had to be original. You had to be somebody to even grab the mic at a spot, whether it was a birthday party, a wedding, a quinceañera, whatever it was, gathering, whatever it was, you had to be somebody to even rap, like it's just crazy how anybody can just be from anywhere now and have their own story, which I get. That's cool. We all have self-expression. We all have an open voice. However, the rules have all changed. The rules have all changed.
Yeah, definitely. And so, getting into music back then, how was your journey? Like, what really kicked off your journey into like getting into music at that time?
I just loved, when I was 13, early 90s, 91, 92, I just loved that, it was about the culture. It was about the vibe. It was something to be hip hop back then. Back then rock was the mainstream music. Rock and grunge was mainstream music, and nobody wanted to be a rapper. If you were a rapper, you were on the back burner. You're the underdog. You're the outcast. And now rap is at the forefront and everyone wanted to be a rapper now. Well, 30 years ago, that wasn't the case. Everyone wanted to be a rocker. Everyone wanted to be a skater, a surfer. And now it's all changed. Everyone wants to be a rapper. And I've been doing this since I was 13. So, it just got me inspired, tell my story. I was rapping and redoing everyone else's songs, like karaoke, practicing and learning all the videos, all the songs on the radio, reenacting it and dancing and doing the whole thing. And then finally somebody, and I don't even know who it was, but somebody was like, man, why don't you write your own? And I didn't even think about it. And I was like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Write my own?
Yeah.
And then now I've been writing my own ever since. 26 albums,
Yeah. When did you record your first track?
First track was, 90, 94, 95. Peanut had some studio equipment, so we were messing around recording there. We made some underground tapes just in Salinas, and homies around the way would play them, and all our friends and family would bump them. But then my really first track recorded was in DJ Upshaw's studio in Marina.
Mix and Spin, boy.
Mix and Spin. Recorded Paranoia of Oneself, produced by DJ Peanut, and ended up getting a John Lennon Songwriting Award, top 50. So that was definitely a pivotal moment for my career.
Crazy.
Dope. And when was that? What year was that?
That was 90. We made the song in 96 and I got the award in 97. I submitted it. We made it in 96, probably December, January, somewhere in 96, maybe early 97, January of 97. And then I submitted it in July of 97. Okay. And I got, just to show y'all, I got the award right there.
Oh yeah, that John Lennon thing. That's sick as fuck,
yeah,
bro.
Top 50. Yeah,
makes sense,
50.
man. You're a hell of a writer. You know what I mean?
It's our documentary right here.
Yeah, so top 50. And yeah, definitely was blessed. And from then on, I really, that really showed me that I had something to do with it. So I kept going since then. And I've been part of numerous groups, worked with numerous groups, KHDC, Verbal Technician, DJ Casio, also KZSC, Jason D, a lot of those DJs and shows, the Wise Up Show, the Wednesday Rec, like they really put me on and showcased me. Bubba G.
Wednesday
Scotch.
Rec, man. Those are classics.
Yeah. Bubba G. Scotch. He always showed love for me. He was original DJ back in the day, late 80s, early 90s. And yeah, I'm definitely grateful for everybody I've came across in my life.
Hey, let me ask you a quick question, and it's up to you if you want to go upon it, because I know it's kind of a sensitive topic. But do you want to say anything about Jason here?
Jason,
Mystery Child.
Oh yeah, Jason, yeah,
Jason,
man, yeah, my brother, Mystery Child, Supreme Enigma. We got signed,
MC, man.
Yeah, we got signed in '98. He unfortunately, committed suicide in 2000. But after that happening, that really sparked the flame inside of me to really push for this music. And for some cats to win, some cats got to lose. So I really saw his own sacrifice as an ignition for my success. And I knew then and there I was never going to give up music. I had a bigger purpose. I was going to prove him wrong. I was going to do everything that we weren't able to do together. And I've done that, 26 albums, very successful in the underground. Yeah, I'm not on TV. Yeah, I'm not a millionaire, but guess what? I do real music and there's real people that appreciate it. And I wouldn't have had a career over 30 years without support. So we still doing it. We still getting it, still striving, still driving,
No doubt.
Yeah. And
rest in peace to the brother.
And I have a question about that. So I was telling Soup that the first time I ever saw you rap was on the North County campus back in the days. And so do you remember going out there for a talent show? And then after the talent show, you were kind of like in the corridor there, freestyling. It was kind of like in the evening.
Where at North County?
Yep.
Yeah. Possibly. Yeah, we did a lot of shows out there. There was a lot of talent, a lot of cats out there. A lot of people showed love. And yeah, it was all about hip hop back then, being seen and recognized. And anytime there was a cypher opening up, we had to get it in. We had to jump in.
Yeah. And
real MC shit.
And I was curious, because I think you were there with a couple other MCs back then. I was just curious who those guys were, because I didn't know. That was the first time I ever saw you, so I never even knew. Like back then, I didn't even rap. So when I saw that, I was like, damn, these fools are dope. I mean, I might have been like, kick some freestyles with the homies, but I wasn't like trying to rap back then. And when I saw you guys, I was like, damn, those fools are like dope as fuck back then. So I was just curious, like, do you remember who you might have been with, or?
Yeah. If we was in North County, it probably was It's Going Down Productions, which was our crew. Mystery Child, Prince of Pride, Earwax, me, Soup One. We also had Mystery Child, Jason, of course. But it was basically our regular crew that we would be with. Everyone that rolled with us at that time. We had a big crew, and we represented out of Salinas. But we had family in Seaside, Marina, Castroville. We had family in Prunedale. We had family in Watsonville, Gonzales. So, it could have been a number of cats I was with. Yeah. To know exactly, I'm not sure. But I know that we did shows at North County, so it probably was our It's Going Down crew.
All right, cool. And then, So also we've been trying to piece together kind of like the who's who of hip hop from the 831 throughout the years. So do you remember back then who was doing music besides yourself as far as like that was really making an impact in the area?
Yeah. So back in 92, I want to say 92 or 93, my mom worked for The Mix, 93.5 The Mix. It was a local radio station just like K-Don out there. And there was a show at the Armory. And the first really local rapper I saw was Doom, was MC Doom. And he was up there doing his thing. And it tripped me out because, I loved hip hop and I loved rap. And I listened to all these groups from all kinds of places. And when he was up there talking about local Salinas and Celebo shit, it really inspired me. And I was like, dang. I was like, well, he can do it. Then I can do it and tell my story and spit my raps, And what was great about our music back then is nobody sounded the same. So I sure in the fuck didn't sound like him. He didn't sound like me. And I got in the game. He was the first one I saw perform. But then, DJ Shaw Real, my homeboy, my producer out there in Vegas right now, he put me on. Spank, AK, they were out there doing their thing, rapping back then. And, I just fell in love with it. I just fell in love with it. The vibe, freestyling with the homies, drinking, smoking, putting on a beat, and then us just freestyling and spitting these raps, local raps, talking about where we from, what we do, what we go through. Like it really hit home. And I'll never forget it. And it made me who I am now, and I knew right then and there, that music was my life and I was going to be a rapper, and it was like, people would laugh at me too. Like, oh, you a rapper from Salinas? They ain't no rappers from Salinas. They ain't no rappers from Salinas. Now go check the record. Cause there's about 10,000, 100,000 rappers from Salinas. You know what I'm saying? When there was never going to be no rapper from Salinas.
Yeah.
Honestly say I been a part of the start of that.
Nice.
As a fan, man, I always tripped out because when I was a kid, I was born and raised in Salinas. So, when I was a kid, the thing that tripped me out the most was most individuals always went, which I love all that shit too. PBK, Casper, Sandman, all that shit was cool. But they normally went the gangster route. And the thing that really drew me towards SPH, because that was the first time I ever really started listening to y'all, was the fact y'all went completely the other angle. D-Boy and you are still doing it where it's about lyrics. The streets are there, but it's about lyrical content. What I mean? That inspired me because I was just like, okay, shit. So now we could be talking about sensible shit and be lyrical.
Yeah.
I didn't know that we could rap like we from, the East almost, with our lyrical ability. I'm just wondering why'd you guys chose that route? I don't know.
It's just who we were. Like, we grew up in the streets. We grew up in the streets. We knew the gangbang shit. We knew the drug shit. But we just knew that the music was more than that. And we wanted to show that. We wanted to show that. We was on some lyrical shit. We was on some MC style shit, some Wu-Tang shit. We were just bringing a different flavor. We stood out. But that's also what helped us make a name for ourselves. That's why a lot of people gravitated towards us and our music, because we weren't kicking the regular shit. We weren't kicking the same old shit. Like we were really saying some different shit. We had different concepts, different type of beats. You know what I'm saying? Like we was just coming out of left field. We was coming out of left field with it. And we stayed in our lane. We really did that.
100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. And so I never really asked you this personally, but what were some of your musical influences growing up? Because your style is very like hip hop oriented. So I just wonder like who were like the MCs that really inspired you as a rapper?
Man, so in the game, I bumped everything. In the late 80s, I was a dancer back in the 80s. So I bumped hip hop and I danced to all the jams. And even though I was from California, born in California and raised in California, I always loved the East Coast rap. So I always had a big love for Wu-Tang and, Beat Nuts, Mobb Deep, Artifacts, Tribe Called Quest, Lords of the Underground. I always had ear to the music that was out there, BDP, KRS-One, I mean, all the greats, you know. So I always loved my East Coast and always was heavily influenced by it and let it influence me. And then I always had the West Coast roots too, though. You know, I love my gangster rap. I love my Sacramento shit, my San Diego shit. I love the LA shit. Like, you know, the Frisco Filmo shit. Like, I love, you know, Vallejo. I got, you know, it's in me. That West Coast is in me. So it's like I'm a kind of a hybrid. I would say I'm a hybrid between the East and the West. So I got, you know, I got those lyrics, that East Coast lyric style, but I also got that West Coast smooth shit, you know?
Well, that's why we telling DEA, you know, all the time is that like, and I'm kind of the same way where it's just, you know, you can manipulate so much more if you just study different regions. You know what I mean? You just have to
Yeah.
study that. And a lot of people they don't be doing that, man. They just be like, I'm from the East, so I'm just gonna listen to East Coast rap, which that's cool too. But man, if
Yeah.
you were just to open the door a little bit, listen to the West, listen to down South,
Yeah.
you would get a whole bunch of different flavors in your ear and you could
I
Yeah.
kind of
listen to all that shit.
regurgitate it in your own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I love the Midwest. I love the Midwest. I
Oh
love
yeah,
the
hell yeah.
Atlanta and the South and Goody Mob and Outkast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I let everything influence me. Florida, you know, Ace Hood. You know, I try to expand my musical horizon to get influenced by everything out there to turn me into something, you know, help turn me into something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
All right, cool. And so now when I met you, I believe like when I first started collabing with you, I think at the time you were signed to Apocalypse Records.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So for people that don't know about Apocalypse Records, which I don't know too much about myself, what was Apocalypse Records and from where were they based out of?
So they were based out of Salinas. As a local producer that you know, was definitely well off and had opportunity to provide a studio and a label for a lot of cats out there. Gave a lot of people a lot of opportunity, and yeah, they were local. Signed a deal with them. Was part of a, you know, probably an 8-member, 10-member group company. We you know, we dropped a new number of albums out there. Did number of shows. You know, did a lot of stuff. Did a lot of stuff. It was a good, you know, it was a good time. A lot of exposure at that time. Doing a lot of shows, a lot of radio, a lot of interviews, TV. I mean, it was a good time. You know, unfortunately, with my brother's suicide, ended up losing my deal and consolidating a 5-album deal to a 3-album deal. You know, and then getting shelved. You know, for a number of years. You know, and sometimes the business part takes over the music, so you have to learn how to balance the two. But needs to say, after that contract was up, you know, X'd Out Music, started my own label and had my own label ready, X'd Out Music, and you know, we ended up just going different ways, and you know, the rest is history.
Who was actually a part of Apocalypse Records besides yourself?
So it was DJ Spin, it was Benzo, it was me, my brother Jason. We had a group, Supreme Enigma. It was Bishop, aka Cuddy Black. He was our manager. We also had Melanie. She was a singer. We also had AJ. AJ was an R&B singer on there. And then we also had a number of features affiliates, Shep Dog, Illwax, D-Boy. We had a number of affiliates that featured LOC. You know, we just had a bunch of crew, people that were part of the entourage that hung out with us, not necessarily signed. Then you had Bugsy and Dre. You had John B. So he was signed. But yeah, we had a number. Annoy did production. DJ Peanut did production. Yeah, we just had a number of people a part of it, and that's what made it successful. Is the more people that were, you know, rowing the boat, the more successful we became. So it was a good venture at the time.
Thanks for breaking that down, because I was always curious the extent of like what actually consisted of Apocalypse Records back then.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned that once your contract was up, you ended up starting your own label, Single Parent Home. But I also know Section 8. Is that the same thing, or is that two separate things?
No. So Single Parent Home's the group the record label's X'd Out Music. We started the record label X'd Out Music, and then Single Parent Home was the first group on that label. And then that was me. Originally, it was me, Mario, and Jason, but because Jason died, D-Boy ended up filling that slot and became me, D-Boy, and Annoy. We were Single Parent Home. And then, we started that label up and started putting out music under that label. You know, we own our copyrights, we own our publishing, and, now we're up to 26 albums. And definitely in Section 8. Section 8 Dojo was the studio. You know, we grew up on Section 8. We were living in Section 8 projects. So Section 8 Dojo was where we recorded and was the name of the lab where we went to work. You know, we went to work out our mental, went to work out our art, and went to exercise our lyrics, you know.
Hey, so when it came to because if I'm not mistaken, isn't J-Mac on that album?
J-Mac on which album? The Single Parent Home?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Single Parent Home. Yeah, J-Mac's on that.
So when did he come and play? Like, when did you meet him,
J-Mac,
and how did he get on that?
Yeah, so Annoy from Single Parent Home and J-Mac, probably about a year or two prior to Single Parent Home and X'd Out Music getting started, J-Mac and Annoy actually had a group, Cons Persuasion. They had a group called Cons Persuasion, and Annoy went by Conspiracy, and then J-Mac. And then when we started doing music, we were working on the project, and we had a slot open, and we were looking for a feature. And Annoy was like, "Well, I could reach out to J-Mac and see if he wants to get down." I think Digital Sweat. I think it was on Digital Sweat. Yeah, Digital Sweat. So we had a 16 open. Yeah, we had a 16 open. J-Mac was ready to go to work. So then he had his own thing going on, Project Pleasure. And he was making his moves. He had the Beat Biters. He was doing Beat Biter compilations. So we got down with him on that. He got down on the Single Parent Home. Those Beat Biters came out a little bit after the Single Parent Home, but that relationship, by him and Annoy, plus he's Sha Real's little brother, and that's my old producer, my original producer and DJ. So we were all kind of connected just off the neighborhood and family, and then we got connected on the music. So it was real easy, real easy to know the cats that wanted to do it, cats that didn't want to do it,
Where did another, because I'm just nerding out at this point. Hey man, SPH is one of my top fives, bro. 100%.
No, I love it. Thank you.
So I got some questions about it. So where did Jay do the freestyle? The freestyle on there?
We were at which one on How I Feel?
It's on Single Parents Home.
Yeah. Which song? Because Jason's on the freestyle on the How I Feel.
Nah, it's just him by himself. I'm feeling awfully bored. Some with the tape recorder, he's just rapping. It's like almost acapella, bro.
Well, probably the tape recorder. It's a mini tape recorder. So we used to record all our shit, freestyles. We used to record cartoons, shows, try and get samples. So it probably was just a little recorder that he had on him, and then was in the vibe and spit it out. And then we used it for the album.
That's a clean ass freestyle. I've always thought that. Yeah. I'm feeling awfully bored. Yeah, the way he's rapping and shit, it's fucking sick.
Yeah, that was song, man. Mystery Child, Boy Named If. So yeah, you definitely a part of all our music. Definitely inspired us. My daughter was born on his birthday 11 years after he died. So he's definitely embedded in my soul, every ounce of my being, and is a part of every verse I drop, every bar I write. Definitely Mystery Child's always right there with me.
100%, man.
And then I'm also curious too, as far as the X'd Out Music, what's the meaning behind the X'd Out Music?
So with our logo that we had for the Single Parent Home, it's an adult and a child, and the child's holding the microphone, and the child is X'd out. And we all came from a single parent home, and we were always told we weren't going to be shit, weren't going to do shit. And we took that as a challenge to step up and to do more than they ever thought. And that's what we did. So X'd Out Music represents that X'd out generation of being told, no, you're from the hood and ghetto. You ain't going to be successful. You ain't going to have good income, ain't going to have good credit, and we proved them wrong. So X'd Out Music represents that. And we always going to ride for the X'd out generation and all the people that they say they couldn't make it and couldn't do it. We live in proof.
Cool. And then, so then throughout the years from there, you go on to release a bunch of albums, right?
Yeah. We up to 26 albums now. We got all the albums up on the wall there, all the albums behind me. You know, me and you got an album, Better Late Than Never. It's on iTunes. You know, we on 40 different websites, 70 different formats. And yeah, we just put music out. It's what we are. It's what we do, you know. People play it and people bump it.
Hey, so you want to talk a little about just, I don't know, even if it's a story, I ain't even really tripping, but another one of the first albums I ever got from Street Beats, right next to Casualties of Life, was Loyalty Without Doubt. Is there anything you want to touch base upon that one there?
Yeah. Loyalty Without Doubt was my first solo album, you know, put out on the X Music label, and it's just definitely all the tracks on there. It's just my, you know, my story about, you know, staying true to who I am, staying true, loyal to my family, loyal to my word, you know, loyal to the streets. You know, out there in Salinas, the street game ain't no joke. You know, you act shady, you burn people, you know, you got to pay the consequences. So I pride myself on being loyal, honest, you know, having honor, respect, and treating everyone as I want to be treated. And here I still am. Some cats didn't make it because they didn't live by that code, you know. So Loyalty Without Doubt. Every track on there is just a reminder of who I am and where I come from and my story, you know.
When it comes to the picture, bro, where was that? Is that like a picture of you when you were small or something? Or
yeah. So the album cover, that's me and my grandfather, and we out in Santa Maria, Park Street. Yeah, Park Street. What's funny about that too is so that was when I probably was 1 or 2 years old, and my grandfather's holding me in the backyard by a tree. And ironically, my uncle had bought that house probably about 20, 30 years later. And I took the same picture with my daughter in front of that same tree in the same pose. So that'll probably come out.
Yeah, you got to make that an album cover, bro. You got to throw me on that shit too, bro. You got to throw me on that shit, big dog.
yeah, for sure.
Hey, but that album cover though, do you remember when we made that?
Oh yeah, DA made that album cover. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
DA helped with that album cover up. Did the front, the back, the inside.
Guy.
Hey, did you bring over like an old photo album or something, and then we scanned it or something?
We scanned it out of the photo album.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I think I helped you with that one and the Single Parent Home album cover.
And Single Parent Home, yeah. DA's a part of the success, man. That's why I never forget where I'm from and never forget who helped me. Any little bit, anybody helped me with my career. I never forgot, and I always keep it real. Always keep it real with them.
100%, man.
Yeah, that's something that we talk about too, is that anytime we got a project, we're always trying to get you on there, make sure that you're a part of it too. And then
hell yeah.
Same thing throughout the years. I might not have rapped on your projects, but definitely try to get some placements for the beats though, you know?
Yeah. No, you got some beats. Yeah, you got some beats I've used. Power Without Guilt. You're all over that. You know what I'm saying? We did the Better Late Than Never, you know? So, I mean, yeah, you're definitely a part of it. I got y'all on my music. I always rock with y'all, you know? Always, you know, you guys always support, so I always support. It's always been real, man.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I just want to kind of get up to nowadays. So last time I talked to you, I know it was a while back, but you mentioned that you're working on a documentary.
Yeah, I got a documentary. It's in the final stages right now. That should be out shortly, hopefully sooner than later. And then, I got the documentary. I'm working on four albums right now. Really trying to push to the next level. And then I'm also trying to start a little clothing line. Me and my daughter opening up a clothing line. So yeah, man, just trying to stay busy and trying to take it to the next level, man. You know?
Yeah, Soup Bun stand on that entrepreneur shit since way back.
Yeah, trying to grow. We trying to grow, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in between streaming the documentary. I'm also talking to a company about printing up some Blu-rays. So I don't know how, you know, which way I'm gonna go. I might do both. I might do one or the other. I'm just looking at all the options right now.
And then as far as a documentary, could you give us a glimpse behind the scenes, kind of like what that's going to entail? Is it kind of like just highlighting throughout the years, or is it more recent, or just?
Yeah. No, it's definitely, you know, I have over 30 hours of video footage. I got hundreds of flyers, you know, from all the shows I did. I got, you know, cassette freestyles and interviews on radio. You know, it's just a whole compilation of my career, my 30-year career, you know, and just, if you didn't know about Salinas, it takes you into the glimpse of Salinas life. It shows you the streets, shows you the artist. You know, I got a lot of cats on there, a lot of cats showcased on there, and yeah, I just wanted to put something out so, you know, people from our area can see what it was and what it is. You know?
Yeah. Gotcha. Cool. All right. And so let me see here. Well, I think for me personally, that's pretty much, like, I had a list of stuff that I wanted to ask you. That's pretty much all I got for you. You got anything else, Stevie Ray?
Shit. Well, one thing is, personally, like, who your top 5, bro? Top 5 records.
That's a hard question. That's a hard question.
Hey, besides me and Stevie Ray.
All right. Let's say East. Let's say from the East then.
All right. East, man. I mean, it's so hard. I'm one of the worst people to ask who's my favorite, but if I had to, on the East Coast, I probably would do man, it's just so hard. I know hundreds and thousands of rappers. On the East, I mean, I definitely rock with Method Man, Redman. Okay. I rock with Mobb Deep, Prodigy, Big L, and then Mos Def. I definitely fuck with Mos Def.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll fuck with those 5.
Okay.
And then on the West, I mean, I love Sacramento shit. First Degree is one of my favorite artists. Okay. First Degree. I like Mitchie Slick. I like Messy Marv. I like AP9. Yep. You know, I mean, I don't even have a top 5 anywhere, man. I just love, I love good music everywhere. You know, I love good music everywhere. You know, if it was a life or death situation, I probably would die because I couldn't pick. Because I couldn't pick. You know what I'm saying? I really couldn't pick.
It's better to know more than less. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, Mac Dre. I mean, I love a gang of artists. You know, Dilated Peoples, Alchemist. I mean, like, man, the list goes on. People look at my CD collection and they're like, you listen to this? You listen to this? Man, I listen to everything.
Yeah.
Are you telling us you still have a CD player?
Yeah, I got CD player. I got record player. I got tape player.
Hey, all right, hold on. This is what everyone wants to know, though. This is the question everybody's been dying to know: is when is Superior One going to get an Instagram?
This one.
I don't know. Hey, probably soon. My phone's almost out of memory, so as soon as I get a new phone, I'll probably be on it.
All right, we're gonna give you a 30-day timeline. Hey, if you don't have one within the next 30 days, we're creating you an Instagram. We're
gonna make a soup on Instagram.
We're gonna manage it. So we're gonna take photos from this. You better
follow me. You better be my first followers.
Heck yeah.
You better share my shit. I'm gonna need all the help I can get. I'm fucking 10 years late.
Nah, it's just, you know, it's basically like, you know, same as Facebook was or MySpace, but just now, you know, everybody's on Instagram. Hey, except for Soup. I'm like, damn, Soup, get on Instagram, bro. But
hey, I don't do it for the gram.
But and then one more question too. That we talked about it, me and Stevie Ray on my interview, the Better Late Than Never album. What was your perspective as far as making that album? Because from what I recall is I had some tracks, you had some verses, and you would just mob out there to Antioch and then just knock out a few verses at a time. Do you remember how long it took us to complete that or what that experience was like?
Yeah, I want to say it took us it was about 3 weeks. I went out there, we knocked out 6 on the first day. Knocked out 6 verses and some choruses, whatever, some ideas we had. And then I remember another week went by, you mixed and mastered the stuff we recorded. And then I want to say I went up there the following week, and then we knocked out about another 7 tracks. And then yeah, man, it was great. It was a good time. We had some good music. We had some good features. There's a lot of good art right there, and I'm definitely proud of the album. I still bump it to this day. I still share it to this day. You know, definitely love it. You know, everything that we've made and been a part of, you know, definitely very proud of it and very blessed to be a part of it. So yeah, man, I wouldn't go back and change anything.
And do you remember, well, I was going to ask you, do you remember if we planned on making an album, or if it kind of like we accumulated the tracks and then just decided to put them out like that? Do you remember if we went into it like we're going to do that, or?
Well, we went over there. You were like, man, I got some beats, and I had raps, and I needed some production. And then it kind of just came together. And you were like, man, we should do a project. And then sure enough, you know, we did a project. And then I remember we did a show in Prunedale. with a lot of other stuff we had recorded, because we already been working with each other for a few years. You know, I remember I hooked up with you like in 2002, and we worked on tracks. You always dropped projects that I was a part of. You know, I always had you a part of stuff. And yeah, man, it just grew and kind of just came together. And we were on the same page. You're like, shit, we should put this out. Like, fuck yeah, let's put it out.
Yeah, because Stevie was asking me about the album cover too, and I was telling him it's from that show in Prunedale back in the day when we had everybody out there.
Yeah, that was a show. That was a show way before the project was even thought of. Yeah. And we ended up using that as the cover, and it was live.
Yeah, and then the other thing I was telling Stevie was that for my verses that I freestyled a lot of them. Yeah, because at that time, like that's what I was on. But looking back, I'm like, damn, I really should have really sat there and made some better verses, because I'm like, Soup came tight on there, and now I'm more competitive, you know. And I'm like, so I'm like, I might just have to someday circle back to that, put some doper verses, and be like, hey,
that's good the way it is, my guy.
Hey, no, that's what makes the music good, you know.
Yeah,
that's what makes the music good is we did
raw.
Raw and spontaneous, you know.
Yeah, spontaneous. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Hold on. I'm getting a pop-up real quick. Let me
all right. I'm at 15%.
Yeah, hey, this thing tells us your battery. It's like, hey, Soup's battery.
Soup's fucking phone's about to die.
Hey, I'm gonna chat with support. I'm gonna chat with their support and be like, can you please plug Soup's phone in for us? Nah. All right, hold up. All right. But yeah, so that was another thing too. And then, but besides that, that's pretty much all I got for you. Definitely appreciate you hopping on. You're like literally one of the first MCs that from the area that I was like, damn, this was dope, and that I looked up to, and I was like, damn. And so definitely one of the persons that inspired me at the time to like you say how you saw Doom perform, was like, damn, you know, like maybe I should take this a little bit more serious. But with that being said though, do you have anything that you want to mention? You know, kind of to close this off, is there anything we didn't talk about that you want to shout out, or give anybody shout outs or anything?
Yeah, no, man, I just shout out everybody from the town, Salinas, you know, anyone who supports 483 Music, you know, Central Coast, you know, I'm rooted in the Valley, you know, over 30 years history there, and I got a lot of love and support. So, you know, I just want to give a shout out to everybody out there, Marina, Seaside, you know, Castroville, Watsonville, Gonzales, Soledad, Chular, you know, like all the spots out there, and anyone who ever bumped my music or knows about me, whoever went to a show, whoever bought a CD, whoever bought a tape, like I'm just grateful to be a part of it and still be alive, still doing it. So, you know, it's just one love on my side, man. You know, anybody see me out there, say what's up.
Thank you. All right. And then, so we like to end every show how we start off with the icebreaker. Due to technical difficulties, we already used one of our good ones. So it's unfortunate, you know, our first icebreaker about the food and the fruit and the eating all the nations, and then the fat wet
my favorite
burrito.
Shit, boy.
So, but I do have another one. Luckily, I always have a backup plan. So to close this one off, all right. So check this one out. Okay. All right. So if you were independently wealthy and you didn't have to work, what would you do with your time?
Record. I'll do music.
Same,
I'll
bro.
do
I would
music.
just be riding, bro.
I'll
That should be
record.
fun as
I'll
fuck,
be
bro.
recording. I'll be smoking and recording and just knocking out some dope shit. Working on shit.
I'll just be riding all the time. If I was rich, I
Yep.
didn't have to worry about it. Fuck it.
Yeah. I'm doing music. I'm doing music, man.
What you on, DA?
I'll probably just travel and go swimming.
That's random, bro. Go swim.
You know,
you
know, or you know, be on a yacht or something fancy. You know,
yeah.
sipping some sparkling water like this with the pinky out.
You gotta get the pinky out. Gotta get the pinky out.
Hey, you know, put a little Grey Poupon on my caviar.
No, I mean,
you know it.
Pull up like pardon me.
Some balling shit.
Yeah, you know, just do all the dumb shit that rich people do, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
But that's pretty much it, bro. But yeah, once again, definitely appreciate you for hopping on here.
Real shit, man.
I know we're
Appreciate
both excited
you
to get you on here. So glad that you were able to make this happen, and definitely want to have you back on in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if you ever want to talk about a new project or whatever, bro, you know what I mean?
Or just to hang out, bro.
Yeah, just the documentary. Yep, X-Style Music documentary. We got the DJ Legacy Bangers albums coming out. I got an album with RNG, 3 Sheets to the Wind. I got a project with Skilly Waves coming out. And then I got a project with DJ Shaw Real. That'll be out probably early spring, maybe summer next year. So yeah, I'm just working on some projects, working on that documentary, and still grinding, man. Still grinding. X'd out.
All right, for sure. Well, there you have it, folks. Superior 1, Salinas 831, representing, synonymous with Salinas rap. And
always.
That's episode number 6 on the books now. So we keep it moving. And for all the viewers out there, we need you to go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, all that. And until next time, we appreciate all y'all, and peace.
Peace.